Ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me? Yes. Okay. Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Mayor of Midden East Antrim Borough Council, it's an honour to welcome you all to Carrickfergus this afternoon to officially unveil the memorial marker for Bentra Aerodrome Station at Whitehead. We'd like to thank everyone for taking part in this morning's unveiling. In particular, thank you to Her Majesty Lord Lieutenant Mrs. Joan Christie, CVO, OBE, for joining us today as we mark this very special occasion. Can I also take this opportunity to extend a special welcome to Mr. Kenneth Bannerman, Director General of Airfields of Britain Conservation Trust. We're delighted you could join us today. We in Midden East Antrim Borough have an extremely strong bond with our military services. As a garrison town, Carrickfergus has been of huge strategic significance for centuries. Our castle stands as a testament to our proud history. Council believe it is important to remember locations such as this. Whitehead's Aerodrome Station was home to the first military aviation facility in Ireland and is one that played an important role in the First World War. Delighted Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant Mrs. Christie is with us to officially unveil this important marker. Mrs. Christie is a tremendous advocate for remembrance, and I thank her for her support today and throughout our terms of office. I would now ask Mrs. Christie, our Lord Lieutenant, to come forward to say a few words. Mrs. Christie, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. May I first of all say how delighted I am to be here and to be involved in this. As has been said, I have a very keen interest in remembrance and the importance of remembrance. And for me this morning, it's lovely to see so many people, but particularly if I could just say how lovely it is to see the cadets here, because they are our future and they're the ones that we're going to be handing on the mantle of remembrance to when we are gone, as a lot of us may soon be gone. Sorry, I'm not being negative there, sorry. That didn't come out quite the way it was meant. One of the things that I've discovered, and I'm not, lots of us here have as well, is that this series of centenaries that we've been going through since 2014 now to 2018 have highlighted just how involved the island of Ireland was in World War I and the significance, the incredibly important role that we played as an island during the First World War. And I think it is so rewarding for all of us that we have the opportunity to look back and to remember and to say thank you to all those. And may I just make a point, a very much of a 2018 point, that not only were the men incredibly significant during the First World War, but the females also were sometimes forgotten whenever we talk about World War I. And because maybe not so many women were in uniform in those days, they were on the battlefields in a nursing capacity and various other transport capacities and things like that. So if I could just make that small, significant point. Midden East Antrim have led the way in highlighting the various roles that this part of the island played during the First World War. And I think it's just so good that we are remembering it and remembering it in this way and remembering it in a way that leaves something there for future generations to be reminded of it. Last weekend, I think it was the weekend before, time's getting quite confusing for me, we unveiled the memorial in Larne, in the town centre, where new names have been added from the First World War. 172 new names have been added. I mean, there were reasons, and I'm sure we can all identify those reasons why those names weren't put on much earlier. But isn't it so good that they're now put on in this period of centenaries? So the fact that we have been looking back 100 years, but we've been acting and bringing it all to the fore into 2018, and that is so important, I think, for all of us. I would just like to say, I've only just met, now I'm going to forget your name because I'm the age where I forget everything.
Kenneth.
I mean, I think I've only heard a little bit of this story, but I'm looking forward to hearing some more. It's kind of amazing that somebody would be moved by an experience and then create a charity that's helping so many other people as well in terms of remembering and identifying airfields all over the United Kingdom. And are you beyond the United Kingdom, or have you enough to do in the United Kingdom?
Just enough.
Well, you know, I was just asking how many there were in Northern Ireland, and I can't believe how many airfields that would have been around in the First World War. It's extraordinary, actually. So I'm going to, every time I drive past a flat piece of ground from now on, I'm going to imagine an aeroplane landing there at some stage. Thank you very much for the initiative that you've shown in terms of creating this charity back in '73, and all the work that you have done with your colleagues since then. We as the population are incredibly grateful to you for that. And if I can just once again say thank you to the Council, because you have taken the mantle of remembrance seriously as well, particularly in this last 4 years. And I'm very impressed by the way the Council has committed themselves to identifying areas worthy of remembrance and making sure that they are remembered. So thank you for that, and thank you everyone. There's a slope on that floor,
There
by the
is.
way.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mrs. Christie. Now I'd like to welcome Mr. Kenneth Bannerman, Director General of Airfields of Britain Conservation Trust, to say a few words. Kenneth.
First of all, thank you all very much for attending, and thank you, Mrs. Christie, for your very kind words about charity. Very, very appreciated. We are really honoured to be here today. We've been trying to get memorials dedicated to airfields in Northern Ireland since as early as 2007, but for various reasons we've only managed to get going now. However, it's very fitting because, as is not unknown, Larne, at least in a military context, was Ireland's, if I can describe it that way, first ever permanent military airfield. But because airfields in either Northern Ireland or Ireland in general, there is a considerable debate about where the first site was. Nobody's really terribly sure, but at least we have a certain amount of certainty when it comes to the military side of things. As regards the airfield's history, its importance, and why all this matters so much to every single one of us, we've got to go right back to 1950, when it was decided to create an airship base here. Now, this place was also connected with what was then called Luce Bay, near Stranraer, in south-west Scotland, which later became better known as one of Scotland's most famous airfields, West Frew, which is pretty much closed these days, but it's still in extreme care and maintenance for weapons testing. Luce Bay was the airship station for the Scottish side of the Irish Sea. But this is where it was quite almost revolutionary in a way, because Larne was the first mooring out station, a bit like a satellite airfield, when it was created during 1915. Now, the history of Larne is rather elusive, I think it's best to describe. But if you do a lot of really deep research digging like we do with our charity, there's more that exists than perhaps might be obvious. We do know for certain that it opened in the second half of 1915. There are even business records that relate to the Northern Bank at Whitehead, where a bank account was actually opened for what they called at the time Whitehead Airfield. There's always this ongoing debate about the primary name of this place in which two cities. So we can reasonably say that the airfield opened, at least in an initial context, in October 1915. Now, as regards the name itself, officially it was called Larne, but it was also semi-officially known as either Bentra or Whitehead. So that's why, if nothing else, when you see the memorial, we've mentioned all three names, to help the community. That's part of the thinking there as well. When it comes to records of activities, you can find details, albeit now and again, at elements such as the National Archives or the RAF Museum in London. Also, more specialised facilities at Specialised Aviation Library at Farnborough, the famous airfield near Aldershot, southern England, among other places. So what we do know is that what were called submarine scout or SS airships, non-rigid airships, they certainly used Larne at least in fair strength by 1970. And then, as no doubt many of you already will know, there's this rather iconic photograph of an airship on the landing area with the portable airship shed, and then in the background, Maldersley Hill. So that is easily the best known photograph of this airfield, although there are various others if you know where to look. This place played a very major part in winning of World War I. Airships from here flew anti-submarine patrols over the Irish Sea. They escorted merchant shipping and so on. And although they acted more as a deterrent, they definitely played a very big part in ensuring that Britain helped win World War I. And the proof of the pudding, if nothing else, is that there was a record, which may actually have been to do with Larne itself, whereby a captured U-boat commander after the conflict, he simply said in his diary, airship overhead, submerged. And why that mattered was that although these airships, biplanes, flying boats, what have you, maybe they did not sink many U-boats during World War I, but it was the deterrent effect. And the easy way to illustrate that is in the last year and a half or so of World War I, thankfully the amounts of Allied shipping tonnage and therefore lives lost plummeted. Because what may be perhaps forgotten today is that by 1917, Germany's U-boat fleet came perilously close to literally starving this country to death. It was that bad. But the turning point was when Britain's airfields to do with maritime patrol, whether they were airship bases, flying boat bases, seaplane ones, or aircraft such as even biplane trainers flying at 70 miles an hour across the Irish Sea and all around the UK. Either a pilot with a tiny bomb or a pilot with an observer but no bomb. But even there, just whenever U-boat commanders and crews saw these aircraft flying overhead, they kept below the waves, so that restricted their effectiveness. And that's why, just for that reason alone, Larne and everyone who served here must never be forgotten. The history itself comes and goes. We do know for a fact that by February 1918, the airfield was officially, probably all being briefly on flight care and maintenance, but was still being used as a depot. However, there was airship flying here, and additionally some fixed wing aircraft flying. If you can imagine, when you go outside, a bit to the right, if we're looking towards Maldersley Hill, there was a slightly separate landing ground. It was all the same airfield, but that was more for fixed wing aircraft that flew from here, they were linked again with Loose Bay. In the World War I, the airfield carried on for a little while. There's again a debate, never mind the opening date of the airfield, also the closing date. Some people say 1919, that is perfectly understandable, but deep level research has actually shown that although the airfield might have significantly run down in the early month of the first month or two of 1919, in fact it actually closed in February 1920. And how we can prove that is that at the same time some incredibly famous airfields elsewhere in the UK, such as the world's most famous bomber airfield, Scampton of Dambusters fame, close to the same time. This is one of the other things instead we do with ABCT. We try and help save airfields. You may have seen the Dambusters bases now for closure. So we, along with many other people, are fighting incredibly hard to try and save that airfield. We've already played a part in helping save over 30 airfields in the UK. So Larne, after it closed, it was still tangible for many years afterwards. We do know that by even as late as the 1950s, some of the wooden support buildings here were being used as permanent homes. Before that, in April 1920, if you look at an old Belfast newspaper, you can find that the portable shed and all the buildings and everything right down the blankets were up for sale by the disposal board. Why that's so important as well, as I said earlier, this is a very unique place in that sense, because all these other mooring out stations across the UK did not have a shed. They were bona fide airfields, but they just consisted of an open bit of ground and woodland. But Larne uniquely had a shed. In fact, had World War I carried on a little bit longer, they would have greatly expanded here with more sheds and also steel wind shear screens, so that when we were taking the airships out of the sheds, they were protected from the winds. This sadly never happened. There's even a question mark about the airship shed itself. There was even a rumour, whether this is true or not, we're still trying to check this, that it might have even been still around in some form as late as the 1970s. Who knows, but we're checking it out. However, looking at the slightly bigger picture, Larne epitomises just how incredibly important our airfields that are active rocket use matter to every single one of us. Enough to say that we simply cannot afford to lose our airfields because they enormously help us in our everyday lives. Work, play, even right down to our health. These places are being increasingly recognised as the UK's greatest ever physical assets. But the tragedy, as some of us will tell you, is that for many, many decades, they were just been taken for granted at even that. And very sad state of affairs. But thankfully, many individuals and organisations like ourselves, we have now managed to, in a nice way of course, alter people's minds and just say, well, these places are enormously important and they are helping every one of us without fail. So all we can just respectfully say to you is that within reason, please just do everything you possibly can to help save and honour not only all of our airfields, but of course all of the very, very brave personnel who serve at places like Larne. It's the very least they deserve after all the tremendous effort and sacrifice that was carried out, especially during World War I. And therefore I can only just finally say thank you all again for your time, and we hope we will be back we're doing another memorial tomorrow, incidentally, at Kirkus time, motor racing circuit. And we will be back in Northern Ireland again next year. I won't say too much at the moment, but we will certainly at the very least be unveiling a memorial to one of the most famous airfields in Northern Ireland. You'll know the name when you see it. And so we will be back. So thank you all very much again for your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bannerman. Would now like to invite Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant and Mr. Bannerman to officially unveil the marker.
Okay, right, just, okay, there's... Yeah. Thank you very much again. Thank you. Thank you. Well, we're doing all we can.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Oh, that's okay for you?
That's absolutely wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.